The big story at the moment, the wrestlers have called off their protest after the government says that it's constituting an oversight committee that will look into all allegations of sexual harassment and financial misappropriation. The WFI chief, Bhutan Charan Singh, will step aside till a probe is underway. The probe is to be conducted in 4 weeks' time. Let's listen in now to the sports minister as well as the wrestlers after that marathon meeting.
एक ओवरसाइट कमेटी का गठन किया जाएगा जिसके नामों की घोषणा कल कर दी जाएगी। अगले 4 हफ्तों के अंदर अपनी जांच को पूरा करेंगे। जो भी गंभीर आरोप किसी भी तरह के, चाहे फाइनेंशियल हो, सेक्सुअल हरासमेंट के हो या बाकी हो, जो भी कहेंगे इनके सबकी गहराई तक जाएंगे, जांच भी करेंगे और जो निर्णय बाकी करने की आवश्यकता होगी वो भी करने का काम करेंगे।
तो मैं आपका धन्यवाद देता हूं मंत्री जी, हम सभी खिलाड़ियों की तरफ से, और हमें उम्मीद है कि इसमें आप हमेशा खिलाड़ियों के साथ खड़े रहेंगे, हमेशा उनकी जो जांच में जो 100% अच्छे से उसकी जांच करवाएंगे, निष्पक्ष जांच होगी उसकी। और आप सभी मीडिया कर्मियों का भी मैं धन्यवाद करता हूं कि आप सब ने हमारा 3 दिन जितना साथ दिया, क्योंकि आपके सहयोग की हमें सबसे ज़्यादा ज़रूरत थी। तो यही है कि हम अभी खिलाड़ी प्रोटेस्ट को बंद कर रहे हैं।
Let me now go across to Rika Roy, who is joining us with more details. So, Rika, Bhutan Charan Singh is only stepping aside for the time being, is it?
That's right, and I think the biggest news would be Anurag Thakur managing to broker a deal with some of India's top wrestlers, and they have called off the protest, and that has happened because the government has asked Bhutan Charan Singh, the president of Wrestling Federation of India, to step aside for 4 weeks when an oversight committee will be conducting an investigation into all the allegations that have been levelled against him, allegations of sexual harassment, misappropriation of funds, of holding trials at a random basis, not giving enough opportunity to youngsters. So all of those will be probed within these 4 weeks. Of course, we do not know the names of the people who will be a part of the committee. That will be revealed as early as Saturday, and it is a time-bound probe, unlike the one that perhaps that Indian Olympic Association has set up. They haven't given a timeline, but that probe committee also has a stellar lineup. It is headed by MC Maricom. So it will be a 2-pronged probe into the several allegations that have been levelled by the top wrestlers of the country against the country's federation chief.
Rika, do we know what the wrestlers believe they are going to do after a month's time? Because the probe will be over in 4 weeks' time. After that, what will be the road ahead? Do they want a completely new WFI? Naturally, that will depend on the probe, isn't it?
That's what, that has been a part of their initial probe. They have been asking the ministry to dismantle, to number one, sack the president of the federation and all the office bearers. Number 2, dismantle the federation as well as the affiliated bodies. So not just WFI, but the several state units hold elections. Elections are due around March, April. So they are asking elections to be held early so that, a new committee comes in place. And even before all of that could be done, now what has happened is that the government has asked the WFI chief to step aside and have the probe completed. So the probe will be completed in a month's time. Well, we'll have to wait and see whether the wrestlers are happy with the probe or not. If they're not happy, then there will probably be further rounds of negotiations. Over the last 2 days, we've seen, several rounds of negotiations happen between the government and the wrestlers. 7 hours yesterday, 7 hours very late into the night today. Well, no one wants to see another situation like this evolve, because this is not just wasting valuable time of the wrestlers. It's about wasting everyone's time, and it's also a lot of strain on Indian sports ecosystem. What has happened is unprecedented. In Indian sports, we have never seen an oversight committee put up by the government of India to probe into allegations. But since the allegations are so grave that the government could not turn a blind eye towards it, they had to step in. Not just the IOA, but now the government has also decided to probe.
Rika Roy, many thanks for joining us with those details. Let's move on now. Rahul Gandhi's Bharat Jodo Yatra is marching through Jammu and Kashmir. The Congress leader is set to hoist the national flag in Banihal in Ramban district on the 25th of January and is scheduled to enter Srinagar via Anantnag 2 days later on the 27th of January. Meanwhile, security remains high for the Yatra in Jammu and Kashmir. Nazir Masoodi reports.
Rahul Gandhi in a jacket, a departure from his trademark T-shirt attire, as the Bharat Jodo Yatra entered its last leg, Jammu and Kashmir, where security concerns meant a larger than usual cordon around the Congress leader, with both the police and paramilitary ring-fencing the Gandhi Scion and his co-travellers. Mr. Gandhi was earlier advised by security agencies to not walk certain stretches during the Bharat Jodo Yatra in Kashmir, NDTV has learnt.
सिर्फ जम्मू और श्रीनगर के बीच में कुछ दूरी तक हम बस में जाएंगे, क्योंकि वहाँ मौसम ऐसे हैं, हालात ऐसे हैं कि हम पद यात्रा नहीं कर सकते जी.
As he entered Jammu to a grand welcome with top Kashmiri leader and National Conference President Farooq Abdullah by his side, Mr. Gandhi invoked his Kashmiri ancestry to strike a chord with the people.
मैं जानता हूं कि जम्मू कश्मीर के लोगों ने कितना दुख सहा है. मैं समझता हूं सबने दुख सहा है, सबने दुख देखा है, और मैं सर झुकाकर आपकी जमीन में आया हूं. और मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूं कि चाहे आप किसी भी धर्म के हो, गरीब हो, अमीर हो, बच्चे हो, बुजुर्ग हो, आप इस देश के हो. और मैं अपनी आंखों से, इससे पहले कि मैं जाऊं, राहुल, मैं देखना चाहता हूं उस गांधी के हिंदुस्तान को जिसमें हम इज्जत से रह सके, इज्जत से चल सके, इज्जत से हमारी माएं, बहनें, भाई चल सके, और हम उस भारत को बनाएं जो सबका भारत हो, मजबूत भारत हो.
The Uddhav Shiv Sena Sanjay Raut also joined the Yatra today, an attempt to signal opposition unity ahead of the Mumbai civic polls, extremely crucial for Uddhav Thackeray's party.
It was a massive security exercise as Rahul Gandhi started last leg of Bharat Jodo Yatra in Jammu and Kashmir. As the Yatra marched towards Jammu and then Srinagar, Congress says that the BJP government's decision of August 5, 2019, when J&K was stripped of its statehood and special status, was a grave insult to the people of region. In Jammu, Nazir Masoodi for NDTV.
Let's move on now. Mumbai continues to reel under poor air quality. For the first time, the financial capital of the country has witnessed such a slump in its air quality index in winters. In January alone, Mumbai has recorded an AQI of 300 for over 10 days. My colleague Pooja Bharadwaj has more details.
This is Mumbai's Jamboree ground, one of the few fields in Mumbai where children can play cricket and football. Children of 10 to 15 years of age play cricket and football. But in the past 3 to 4 weeks, the air has been so toxic that many have developed respiratory illnesses.
डॉक्टर के पास जाते हैं, डॉक्टर बोलता है पंप लेने बोलते हैं वो लोग.
आप इनहेलर ले रहे हो?
यस.
कितनी ज़्यादा प्रॉब्लम होती है आपको खेलने में?
अभी डालते हैं, अभी भागता हूँ तो थोड़ा सांस लेने पे प्रॉब्लम होता है.
मैं ना 2 महीने से आ रहा हूँ कंटिन्यू, और मेरे को खांसी हो रहा है. वो धूप में खेलते ना, इसके वजह से खांसी.
फुटबॉल खेलते हैं?
Hospitals report a 50 to 60% increase in patients suffering from shortness of breath and prolonged cough. Mumbai's air quality remains in the very poor category for the 6th consecutive day. This is the first time it has happened in 8 years. The AQI continues to dip in Mumbai. On the 20th of January, Mumbai reported an AQI of 319. Mumbai's air quality was in the poor category for 10 of the 20 days. The worst hit areas in Mumbai are Chembur and Navi Mumbai.
मुंबई में इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के प्रोजेक्ट्स है, इस प्रमुख तौर पर मेट्रो से लेकर बुलेट ट्रेन और बाकी जो रेल इस्टेट के जो काम चल रहे हैं, उसकी वजह से कंस्ट्रक्शन रिलेटेड जो डस्ट है उसका काफी मात्रा में बढ़ोतरी हुई है। उसके साथ इंडस्ट्री का इमिशन है वो भी काफी मात्रा में बढ़ रहा है।
A combination of reasons like metro construction, repair of roads, falling temperature, increasing number of vehicles have taken Mumbai ahead of Delhi in the pollution charts. In Mumbai with Pooja Bharadwaj and video journalist Danesh, Bureau Report, NDTV.
Now, India's Foreign Secretary Vinay Mohan Kwatra made a two-day visit to Bhutan. The tweet by India's ambassador to Bhutan said that there were engaging conversations, positive outcomes, expanding the partnership. Now, the timing of the visit is significant here as it comes a week after Bhutan and China held talks in Kunming in China and decided to push forward boundary negotiations. The boundary negotiations between Bhutan and China remain important for India as well as they involve talks over Doklam. This area in Bhutan overlooks India's Chicken Neck, the stretch connecting the northeast with the rest of the country. In 2017, the Indian and Chinese armies engaged in a face-off in Doklam for 2 months. Meanwhile, a couple of years ago, in what is seen as a bid by China to further pile pressure on Bhutan, they opened a new front staking claim to the Sakteng sanctuary in Bhutan. This borders India's Arunachal Pradesh, which is highly sensitive for India with respect to China. Most recently, on the 9th of December, Indian and Chinese soldiers had engaged in a face-off in Tawang sector of Arunachal Pradesh. The Sakteng sanctuary borders the Tawang district. Let's move on now to the tech sector, which continues to face tremors. Mass layoffs in the tech world continue. Google's parent company Alphabet has started layoffs as well. After Meta, Twitter, Google starts layoffs too. Swiggy has also decided to lay off 380 employees.
The tech world is increasingly seeing more and more layoffs, with Google being the most recently affected. Google's parent company, Alphabet Inc., today announced that it is eliminating 12,000 jobs globally in an internal email sent by CEO Sundar Pichai. In that email, he wrote, "Over the past 2 years, we've seen periods of dramatic growth. To match and fuel that growth, we hired for a different economic reality than the one we face today." In India, too, companies have not been immune to layoffs, with food delivery company Swiggy announcing a restructuring today, with 380 people being laid off also. In an email sent to employees this morning, CEO Shri Harsh Majeti wrote, "We're implementing a very difficult decision to reduce the size of our team as a part of a restructuring exercise." This pandemic-fueled hiring that had taken place over the last 2 years is seen as the main reason for these companies over-leveraging themselves. Leading tech giants such as Meta, Twitter and Amazon have already axed many jobs globally, with Microsoft also following suit earlier this week. The one tech giant that so far has been silent about layoffs has been Apple. Many industry experts believe that this is because Apple did not rapidly expand its workforce during the pandemic. Apple, however, has been the exception, as other companies in India also have not been immune to these layoffs. Dunzo, Byju's, Ola, White Hat Junior and Unacademy all have laid off parts of their workforce recently. According to a KPMG report from November of 2022, around 39% of CEOs in India had implemented a hiring freeze, with close to 46% considering downsizing their workforce over the next 6 months. India thus is not immune to these layoffs, as layoffs in the West will have trickle-down effects on various companies in India. This is Ragmathur Ramdev for NDTV.
Now, the government has released the layout and new photographs from inside the new Parliament building, which is likely to host the second part of the budget session. The building, whose construction work is on in full swing, is likely to be inaugurated in March. Much of the Central Vista redevelopment and the new Parliament building is being done by Tata Projects Limited, featuring larger halls, a library, ample parking space and committee rooms. The halls and office rooms are equipped with state-of-art facility. Taking a very quick break now. News and updates will continue. Stay with us. Welcome back. In the latest clash between the Congress's top two leaders in Rajasthan, Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot appeared to refer to Sachin Pilot as a virus in a video. Though the Chief Minister didn't take names, it's widely believed that he was targeting his former deputy, whom he had previously called Ghaddar or a traitor, and Nikamma, that is worthless.
मैं ये मौजूद करूँगा कि बाइट में आप ठीक है तो मैं मिलने लगा हूँ अभी इससे समाज को मिला क्या हुआ इस बार अभी कोरोना आ गया एक बड़ा कोरोना और आ गया हमारी पार्टी के अंदर
मैंने कभी भी अपने विरोधियों के सामने उन शब्दों का प्रयोग नहीं किया जो शब्द मैं अपने लिए नहीं सुनना चाहता। ये बड़ा अच्छा फॉर्मूला है, अब ध्यान से सुनो। जो शब्द जो बातें आप अपने लिए नहीं सुन सकते वो औरों को नहीं बोलनी चाहिए।
From the Congress, let's cut across to the BJP now, with their eyes keenly trained on the West Bengal Panchayat polls and the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. The BJP chief, JP Nadda, is visiting the state after his term as president of the party was extended at the National Executive Meet in Delhi this week.
जब आपकी इंक्वायरी होती है तो दीदी आप तिलमिला जाते हो, बोलते हो मोदी सरकार, मोदी सरकार, मोदी सरकार। अरे मोदी सरकार ईमानदार सरकार, आपकी सरकार बेईमान सरकार, इस बात को आपको समझना होगा।
JP Nadda setting the tone for the BJP's campaign for the upcoming Panchayat polls in Bengal in April this year. Nadda's first trip after his extension as BJP president was made official was in what is challenging territory for the BJP.
ভিক্ষে চেয়ে নেব না, রাস্তা গ্রামীণ রাস্তা টাকা তুলে নিয়ে যাচ্ছে, করছে না। নদীর ভাঙন টাকা দিচ্ছে না, বন্যা হলে টাকা দেয় না। তাই মনে রাখবেন, ওবিসি স্টুডেন্টদের যারা টাকা বন্ধ করেছেন তারা পাপ করতে পারে, আমি পাপ করতে পারি না। কুকুরের কাজ কুকুর করেছে, কামড় দিয়েছে পায়, এটা একটা প্রবাদ আছে।
पैसा भेजे मोदी जी, पैसा भेजे मोदी जी, और यहां तुम घोटाला कर लो, और जब तुम्हारी इंक्वायरी हो तो बोलो कि भारत सरकार मेरी दुश्मन है। चोरी भी करनी और सीना जोरी भी करनी, चोरी भी करोगे और सीना जोरी भी करोगे। अभी अभी सुधेंदु अधिकारी जी कह रहे थे धोरो धोरो, चोर के धोरो, जेल में भरो। मित्रों, कमल के वोट पर निशान लगाओ, धौर भी देंगे, जेल में डाल भी देंगे, याद रखना, ये मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूं।
In Bengal, both the BJP and its ideological mentor, the RSS, are trying to grow in organizational strength, as the BJP will have to depend on the RSS network for its ground-level outreach. RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat will address a public meeting on the 23rd of January, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose's birth anniversary.
নেতাজি এবং ডাক্তারজি দুজনেরই বিশ্বাস ছিল যে রাষ্ট্রীয় ভাবধারায় অনুপ্রাণিত আদ্যান্ত অনুশাসিত সংগঠনই ভারতের স্বাধীনতার একমাত্র পথ। তাই একজন রাষ্ট্রীয় স্বয়ংসেবক সংঘ এবং অন্যজন আজাদ হিন্দ বাহিনী ফৌজের নেতৃত্ব দিয়েছেন। নেতাজির রাষ্ট্রীয় স্বয়ংসেবক সংঘ সম্পর্কে প্রথম অনুভব হয় একটি চলমান ট্রেনের কামরায় জানালা দিয়ে যখন তিনি সেই ট্রেনটিতে ভ্রমণ করছিলেন। নাগপুরের উপর দিয়ে ট্রেনটি যাওয়ার সময় নেতাজি স্বয়ংসেবকদের গণবেশ পরে।
However, the RSS has grown significantly in Bengal in the last few years. In 2014, the RSS South Bengal region had 722 shakhas. In 2018, that jumped to 910 shakhas. In 2022, the same region was divided into South and Central Bengal, and the number of shakhas in both these regions was 1130.
The BJP will depend on the RSS for its booth level, ground level work. And even the RSS is in expansion mode, with the RSS chief expected to address a rally here at the Shahid Minar grounds on the 23rd. The BJP is still picking up the pieces from its 2021 defeat in West Bengal. And the party knows a lot of work is to be done, especially at the booth level for the upcoming Panchayat elections. With camera person G.D. Shankar in Kolkata, Saurabh Gupta, NDTV.
Moving on, Air India has been fined 30 lakh rupees and the license of the pilot in charge of its New York-Delhi flight on which a drunk passenger peed on a woman has been suspended for 3 months by the aviation regulator DGCA. A penalty of 3 lakhs has also been imposed on the Director in Flight Services of Air India for failing to discharge her duties by the Directorate General of Civil Aviation, that's the DGCA. Air India on Thursday imposed a 4-month flying ban on the passenger Shankar Mishra for the urinating incident on 26 November last year. The ban was in addition to the 30-day ban it had imposed on him earlier. Well, another case of road rage that is being reported now, where two vehicles collided in Bengaluru, and one vehicle was owned by a lady Priyanka, the other by a person named Darshan. They had an argument and Shweta is then accused by this person of making obscene gestures at him. Darshan went on to question the lady by trying to stop a vehicle. In this melee, Darshan was on the bonnet and then was driven by Shweta for a kilometer. 5 people have been arrested in this case.